My name is Welch, and you're watching the Rollerblading YouTube channel. I'm really excited about today's video because I'm going to be unboxing a brand new pair of Rollerblade aggressive inline skates. And these are some skates that I've been wanting for a really long time. A bunch of my friends here in Vermont have had them for several months. And I've been honestly really jealous seeing them skate them because they look amazing. And fortunately, I got my hands on some. So I'm going to be unboxing them here shortly for you all to check out. But before we get to that, if you have any comments or questions throughout this video about the skates, make sure and leave those in the comments section below. And if you do enjoy this video, make sure and hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and hit the bell icon to be notified anytime I upload new videos. This is the blank Keane. It's a 10 and a half. It's dual size. And it's a 43-44 in EU. Inside the box, we have the boot. It doesn't come with any wheels on it. The wheels are in the box. So you have to put the wheels on yourself, which is not too difficult. Here's the second skate. Very beautiful skate. I love these things. They're very streamlined, which is nice. And they're black. I mean, black is my favorite skate color. My first skates I ever skated were rollerblade skates. You know, I went through the lightning phase. I skated all the different lightnings. I really enjoyed the New Jacks, which is a completely different skate from this, but it's one of their more recent models that I really like skating. So I'm really pumped on these. Really pumped. We have a set of 8 blank by Rollerblade hydrogen wheels, and hydrogen wheels are very good quality. So that's nice to see that. And here we have the tools. They come in a little envelope, recyclable. It looks like an Allen wrench and another little tool, which I wasn't sure what it was when I was doing my Twister XT video, but it's got that tool in there as well. And in the box, we also have a pair of footbed sizers. And what these are for is giving you the perfect fit. Out of the box, these skates right here are actually a 10 and a half. So if you put the footbed sizer into the liner, it's gonna make it a 10. So it just fills it in a little bit more and makes it a tighter fit. Then we have just a little quick start guide, cool little graphics on it, and a catalog, technical manual. So I don't need any of that stuff. Let's go ahead and get rid of the box. So what I'm gonna do now is grab my bearing press and put these wheels together. What we use is this Bont high quality bearing press, makes putting together wheels really easy. I actually bought this for metal core wheels and now I use it on everything. It's really cool. And it's got a bearing puller at the end here so you can pull the bearings back out. See that bearing puller right there. I have a link in the description below to this so you can purchase it directly from Amazon. Well worth it. Check out how easy it is. Let's go ahead and dump out our bag. Put in the bearing first, put in the wheel, then we put in the spacer, and we put in the bearing. We just close it, and boom. There we go. You have your bearing in. Super easy. I recommend everyone get this. These are made in the USA, and they have their own formula proprietary to Rollerblade Hydrogen. They're some of the best wheels on the market. They are very good. I'm riding these on my Wizard setup right now, the 80mm version, and I absolutely love them. And the bearings, these are twin cam ILQ9. This is also an amazing bearing. These bearings are only sealed on one side. You want to make sure the sealed side is on the outside. I just realized on one of them I put the unsealed side on the outside, so I need to take that out. And we can use the bearing remover. Boom. Look at, did you see how easy that was? Amazing. Put it back together like that. Drop it in. It's amazing how fast it is with this tool. All right, that's the last one. Spins nice. So before I put these wheels on, I actually want to go over the skate, disassemble it, and check it out a little bit more in detail. As I had mentioned earlier, this skate is very streamlined. It looks amazing. I love the black. The skate was designed for your foot's anatomy. It's supposed to be a really perfect fit, and we will go through that when I actually skate these, which will be a separate video, but I plan on skating them tomorrow at the skate park. And we will do a first impressions video for that session. Comes with a little tag on it that we will take off because we don't need it. Anything interesting? It talks about the footbed sizer. There's a QR code on here so you can find out more information about how they work. And this is a pretty beefy strap right here. It's very thick, feels quality. It's almost like a seatbelt material on the lower side and some sort of faux leather on the outside. There's little bolts here, here, here. That's 3 of them. And one here and they're all for an Allen key. It's a very secure strap. I like how wide it is, and I like how this strap here is with material and the width, because some straps I have, the metal loop kind of twists, and then it just kind of is at an angle, and the straps are usually a little more narrow, so after a while the straps are something I hate. I'd rather have a buckle sometimes, but these seem like they will last a long time and give you a really secure fit. I mean, these are nice straps, very nice. There's actually a strap protector right here, so you won't catch that on anything and break the strap off or mess up the bolt. The boot mold is actually designed to go around the strap right there, and that's pretty rad. I've never seen that before in any skate. That's definitely something new. That's pretty cool. You've got the branding on the back for blank and the Keane letters right there. Your cuff bolts are also recessed pretty good. So you can see the quality and the components. Even though it's simple and streamlined, what there is looks really quality to me right now. I'm looking at this buckle. It's metal here, plastic receptor, and it has a really nice buckle protector. A little bit right here, you know, you could maybe catch it, but the chance of that happening is really slim. A lot of skates I've been looking at recently, they have buckle protectors, which is this raised area here. You can see it. But the buckle still sticks out. So if a buckle sticks out, then if you miss a grind, you can catch it and break your buckle or bend your buckle. And that's gonna suck, it's gonna ruin your session. Well, this buckle protector comes way out over the buckle, so your buckle is pretty golden. Unless you somehow catch right here, but I think that's impossible. This is gonna be the area where you generally would miss and hit the buckle. So that's really cool. Same on the inside of the buckle. If you miss a negative trick or something like that, you won't hit the buckle. The buckle is not too long, and when they're too long, they don't go all the way in. This one you can kind of strap down, push it in, and it's inside the boot here, but it's not too long to where it's going to be a problem. It's like perfect length. It's got two big pieces of plastic here to hold the buckle in place so it doesn't shift, and that these things don't shift. A lot of times on skates, these things like to move, and it can get kind of awkward. But this is really sturdy. I mean, like holding these for the first time, I'm very impressed by the craftsmanship and quality of these skates. Very cool. Let's take out the liner, check that out. You have lacing here, and it doesn't go into the liner. The liner has its own lacing. You can see that yellow or that kind of lime green pad in there. That's a shock absorber. And that's a huge shock absorber. It covers probably 2/3 of your foot. It goes to about here inside the skate. That's gonna really be nice for impact off rails or gaps. The way the boot's designed makes it to where this huge shock absorber doesn't have any heel lift. It's completely flush in there. So you've got shock absorber without the heel lift like a lot of skates have. So that's gonna be interesting to see. On the inside receptors of the cuff bolt, it has some protection over there so it doesn't dig into the liner. So it's got a fabric over it. That's a nice detail. This is the hole for the buckle. So when you close it, it just goes inside the boot right there. So that's why you don't want it too long, because it would kind of catch, and it's perfect. I mean, this is a perfect design. This skate took them a long time to release. I can see why, because they did a lot of testing to come out with what visually seems to be a really perfect skate. Moving on to the liner, it's got a toe box that can stretch, which will help with that 10.5 sizing difference. So if you're a 10, it fits perfect. When you put the footbed sizer in, and when you're 10.5, you have a little bit of stretch that you can have if you need it. And we have something inside of here. And what is it? Oh, this is a surprise. So I read that these come with 8 rollerblade wheels, so you can ride flat. And it can also do anti-rocker. But I didn't see any anti-rocker wheels in the box because they were in the liner. And I wasn't expecting to see them there. No bearing anti-rocker, just plastic. These aren't necessarily my favorite type of anti-rocker wheel. I do like an anti-rocker wheel that's urethane with a bearing. But I don't really like anti-rocker anyways, so it doesn't matter that much to me. I'm going to be riding flat on these frames, which will actually be interesting because The frames I'm riding right now are the Wish frames, which have a lot bigger groove. I might even try the anti-rocker setup just for fun of it, but I definitely like speed, and that's what riding flat gives you. On to the liner itself. The liner has laces, so it laces up and you can make it tight, and then the boot has laces, the boot has the strap and a buckle. Feels very quality. Lots of padding in the tongue, which is nice. It's got an insole that seems really nice as well. This is Performance Skate Insole Plus. It's got extra padding here as well. Between this and that shock absorber in the boot, you're gonna be pretty good. You also have some, looks like just some hard, I don't know, some sort of plastic type material here and here. And this is just to protect the liner from those cuff bolts. Now, if you want to do the footbed sizers, once you take the actual footbed out, you make sure you remove any paper from inside the liner, and you stick in the footbed sizer and make sure it's in there nice and straight, no creases. Then you put in the footbed, and now you have a size 10 liner. It's like magic. It's got a nice rubber bottom. I haven't really seen too many rubber bottoms like this, so that's going to be nice for extra protection and sturdiness. On the back here, you have some rubber strips, and this just kind of helps keep the skate liner in place inside the boot. This liner is supposed to be designed to where it just fits perfect in the boot itself, so there's not going to be any like wiggle space in between. This is going to be like anatomically correct fit for your foot. Let's go ahead and take that footbed sizer out because I am not a 10, I'm a 10.5. Definitely really like how simple this skate is. Has a lot of attention to detail. All over the place, there's attention to detail. Even lace protectors here. In between the laces, you have these little raised areas. When you examine this, it's very impressive. So let's get the frame off, see what that looks like, and get the sole plate off. And look underneath, see what Rollerblade did with this skate. If you look right here, there's 2 bolts. Obviously it's UFS. The frame has a little recessed area. It doesn't look like you're gonna be able to get much bigger than a 60mm wheel in this frame, but that's definitely good enough for a flat setup. And I typically default back to my Wish frames. I don't know if I've ever skated a stock frame for too long, but I definitely love giving everything a shot, and I will skate these. Now the way the frame works is we have frame spacers on either side. You only need 1 wrench because there's only 1 Allen hole. The other side has these triangle bolts. This is kind of proprietary for Rollerblade. So if you lose a bolt or something, you're gonna have to get a bolt from Rollerblade. They're not universal, but they look cool. Let's get the frame itself off. Oh wow, that looks a lot different than I expected. Check that out. It's a whole like recessed area for the frame, which means this should accommodate a pretty long size frame. This is gonna make the frame sit closer to your foot. So you're not gonna be as high off the ground as you would on any other skate. I mean, look at that, that's a few millimeters difference. So you're definitely gonna be a whole lot closer to the ground. And that's really cool. That's a really cool design they did. They've also have this area recessed as well. It's almost like pre-dremelled. Same in the boot itself, it's also dremelled here, which means it's designed for the Wish frames, which I have. And every single skate I put the Wish frames on, I have to Dremel them. And these I don't. Look at that, pre-Dremelled. That is really cool. And for me, like buying these, that would be a big selling point. That it's compatible with that type of flat, big wheel skating, aggressive setup. This is something I've never seen before. The inner recess parts that the frame bolts go into, they actually are locked in. They like swivel locked in to the boot itself, so they won't move. You know, a lot of times I've had issues where they spin and you're trying to tighten them and they just spin. These are actually locked in. That's amazing. Another cool detail. I don't think I've ever been this surprised pulling a frame off a sole plate. Why don't we take off the sole plate and see what that looks like underneath. The sole plate has 8 bolts, 2, 2, 2, and 2. So it's gonna take me a little bit to take it off. Taking all these things off is, you know, a little tedious. I can't imagine sitting in a factory and like screwing these things in all day. And you've seen Sean Keane skate these things, right? You've seen Sean Keane edits. I'm gonna post some in the description below if you haven't. He does some crazy tricks on these. Wow, this is interesting. you actually have these kind of indents here. The sole plate is very minimal. So you don't even have to have the sole plate. You could mount a frame directly to the boot, which means you could have a big wheel frame on here. You could stick an 80mm frame on here and you could go urban skating. So if you're someone who wants to travel, do aggressive and urban and don't want to take 2 pairs of skates, here you have a boot that you could easily stick a frame on without having to have a sole plate, which sheds a little bit of weight off. You've got these 2 supports here that kind of go in this area and makes it fit in. This is really unlike anything I've seen before. I've never seen a sole plate like this. Very minimal with a big hole down the middle for the frame just to go through. I'm gonna go ahead and put these screws back in, put the frame back on, and throw the wheels on and see what it looks like as a complete skate. Something I just noticed on these frames is they're fully symmetrical. So you can skate them either way. You can have them like this or like this. And a lot of aggressive frames are symmetrical these days, but just want to note that these are interchangeable any way you want. So you can rotate them if they get worn, whatever. Or if you like your bolts on the inside or outside, it's your choice. And the sole plate on these is also really cool. Look at how wide this is. That's a lot of grinding space for you to lock in on your tricks. I think I'm gonna like that. And the negative area is not bad either. These are really easy to put on. A lot has to do with the fact that those frame receptor bolts are secured inside the boot like I showed you. The spacers that go into frames, some skates, they like lock in kind of tight. And on these skates, they're not tight enough to where they stay in. So just be aware of that so you don't lose any of these frame spacers when you're changing your wheels or whatnot. And these are pretty cool, these triangle bolts. I just wouldn't want to lose one. So here we have it, the complete Keane Blank by Rollerblade Pro Skate with the hydrogen 60mm wheels on them, with the ILQ9 twin cam bearings inside of those on the blank frame. These are beautiful, streamlined, like a modern masterpiece of skate design. I really love the simplicity and attention to detail. Very impressed by Rollerblade and the work they did to produce such a great looking skate. I will be skating these tomorrow, as I mentioned, and I will be uploading that video to this channel in the near future. If you enjoyed this video, make sure and hit the like button. Leave any comments you might have or questions in the comments area below. And share this video with your friends so they can also see how cool this skate is. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, make sure and hit the subscribe button. And to be notified anytime I upload new videos, like the review video I'll be doing of this, make sure and hit the bell icon. I also have links to my social media in the description below, so you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I have a link to my Patreon page and a PayPal donation page. If you like what I'm doing and you want to support this channel, go ahead and visit those links in the description below as well. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you next time here on the Rollerblading YouTube channel.